You wrote an article about the All-Star game and about the Hall of Famers that are going to be in this. So you predicted, you had some locks, you had some potential, you had some future guys. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that article. I'm going to let you take it away here, but tell us about that article and what direction you went with it.
So I was curious, thinking about how many Hall of Famers average are in any given All-Star game, right? So I went back in time, not actually, but on the internet, and calculated and measured how many how many Hall of Famers were in every single All-Star game from 1963 to 2000.
Okay.
I picked 63 because it was the first year after expansion where there was only one All-Star game. There actually used to be two. And so it was kind of the modern roster size of the All-Star game.
Not to cut you off, but fun fact.
Was my last one.
I just heard this, by the way. I got a little bug in my ear. You picked a funny year. It was 63 you started. 62 was the last year that two catchers from the same team were on the same All-Star game, by the way. So
there we go.
62.
And that's because they had two All-Star games that year, and they needed all these people to catch.
Yes.
And then I picked 2001 as the other end because that was Pujols' first year. And so it's kind of in my mind like the modern era where we don't really know yet, right? And so on average, there were 18 Hall of Famers in every, per All-Star game.
Wow.
Right around 18, which was a little more than I expected, right?
Wait, so on average, there's 18 Hall of Famers that were in every All-Star game in that time frame, from 63
Correct.
to 2001?
18 Hall of Famers per game.
Wow. I would not.
Definitely more than I expected.
Yeah.
So the highest it ever got was 25, and the lowest it ever got was 12. And I also didn't take a lot of the steroid guys into account, so it's even higher if you include Bonds, McGuire, Sheffield, Clemens, whatever, Sosa, where those guys would be Hall of Famers by talent, but they're not because of the PED stuff, whatever. So I was like, okay, it's 18. That means there's probably 18 guys or around 18 guys on the rosters right now.
Okay.
Right? Who are the 18? And so I went and I just looked at who the 18 were and tried to kind of make the dumb prediction of looking into my crystal ball. There are 5 obvious locks in my mind.
Okay.
And that's Trout, that's Pujols, that's Cabrera, that's Kershaw, and that's your brother. Those are the 5, no one's arguing those, right?
Agree.
And then there's Mookie, Machado, and Harper are essentially locks because of how well they've done up through 29. You do that good through 29, maybe, it all falls apart and you get Grady Sizemore and whatever.
Yeah.
But most likely you make it, right? So there were kind of those 8 names were just shoo-ins. And then from there, it was a lot more difficult to kind of pick the rest of my list. But I won't go through the whole list. But for the purposes of you, I did leave Shohei Ohtani on the outside looking in.
Wow.
He was my 19th guy. I picked Aaron Judge over him for the last spot. Yeah.
What about Julio? Where'd you stand with Julio?
So Julio is tough. I had Julio in the mix for that too. I want to see him make adjustments to the big leagues.
I just think that's an interesting one.
I think it is he was definitely on my last 5 were Cole, Judge, Hader, Ohtani, and Julio.
Wow. All right.
Because Hader is relievers are weird, right, about Hall of Fame stuff. But yeah, and I ended up just going with Judge. I think he's likely to re-sign with the Yankees. And if he does that, he'll be there for, another 7 years, and he'll probably win a World Series and a couple more MVPs and, get to 450 home runs.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.